Hey everyone, I'm Alex Noonan. I'm a developer advocate here at Dagster Labs, and today I'm going to take you through all the new features that we're shipping in Dagster Plus. So make sure you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any Dagster updates. And without further ado, let's get into it. So many data engineers are experiencing burnout. And a lot of them are planning to leave their jobs or switch roles within the next year. And you don't have to spend too much time talking to data engineers or hanging out on the data engineering subreddit to see that there's a problem. They spend 30 to 40% of their time firefighting instead of shipping new data products. Organizations are also losing a ton of money on data quality, brittle pipelines, and the general challenges that come with managing a data platform. And oftentimes, it's the business stakeholders that surface data issues before the engineering team can get a handle on it. And a lot of us have just come to accept that this is table stakes for the role. But enough about the bad. What is data engineering like when it's good? You're writing code, you're flowing, you're shipping new data products, everything's working as it's supposed to, and you and your teams are building cool stuff and your stakeholders are happy. Now, how do we get more of that and less of the reactivity of putting out fires? Now, back when I was in the Marine Corps a long time ago, I received a period instruction on the OODA loop, which stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. And you may have heard of it from a mental model framework or maybe in like an MBA class or something like that. But the concepts are familiar if you've done any sort of industrial process analysis or operations theory thinking. And essentially, it's an attempt to understand how decisions are made and to help us make better ones. So, when you're operating in an uncertain and rapidly changing environment, you need to be able to form and destroy mental models to stay aligned with reality and keep you executing at a high level. In practice, it is a series of interconnected feedback loops that keep you in the flow state. And the flow state is the most important thing. Now, Air Force pilot John Boyd created the OODA loop, and its key insight is that we survive by building mental models of reality. But as conditions change, we must actively destroy outdated models and create new ones. This destruction and creation cycle is what keeps us ahead of change. And this crazy diagram here shows what this process is like in action. Now, you may not recognize that you're doing these things, but you are. Now, the process of taking in new information, orienting yourself to where you are, deciding on what to do, and then actually doing it is what a flow state is. And the faster that you can go through this loop, the more effective you become at staying ahead of problems. Now, data platforms decay in predictable ways. Dependencies break, SLAs slip, data quality degrades, and without fast feedback loop, small issues compound into platform-wide outages. Now, here's what a poor OODA loop looks like in data engineering. For observation, you're jumping between multiple tools just to get basic visibility. For orientation, alert noise makes it impossible to distinguish signals to noise as you're overwhelmed with Slack messages or notifications that make it difficult to know what the actual problem is. By the time you piece together what is happening, the problem has spread and become a big issue. For deciding, you're making decisions with incomplete information. And act, your fixes are reactive and not proactive. Now, this is honed through experience. And when it kicks in, you're a lot more effective because as things are happening, you already know 2 steps down the line what you're going to do and how to prevent any cascading failures from happening. But what does all this theory have to do with Dagster Plus? Well, that's why I'm excited to share our new reimagined UI for Dagster Plus, which is a complete observability experience designed to accelerate your decision feedback loop and help you stay ahead of platform decay and make it more pleasurable to manage your data platform. Now, this is the new homepage, which gives you a quick overview over your entire data platform. Now, you can immediately see the status of your data assets and see if more action needs to be taken. It also is completely customizable, so every user sees what matters to them. So let's look at all assets here. Now, every asset gets a health status: healthy, warning, or degraded. Healthy is self-explanatory. These assets are good to go and meet all their SLAs and quality checks. Warning means they may fail a non-critical asset check or miss their or close to missing their freshness policy. And degraded means they either failed a materialization, passed their freshness policy, or missed a critical data quality check. And then going over to the Insights tab, we can see these high-level stats here about our success rate, the time to revolution, the freshness pass rate, and the asset check success rate. Additionally, we can see performance metrics over time with a time value comparison percent over here. So we can see that failures are up 3.2% over this same 7-day period. And then we can also see the hourly breakdown. You can drill down into these charts to see the specific assets that contribute to the metric overall. And with Insights, you can bring all your data engineering observability all into one place. All the metrics here are backed by a real-time process, so there's no lag between when the events happen and when the data is surfaced in the UI. And we really designed the selection tab to be something that you could screenshot and share with leadership or your stakeholders to show where the platform status in a visual appealing way. And the platform level KPIs in the selections tabs gives data leaders a top-down view of their entire platform, while it gives the practitioners the bottom-up data they need for more tactical situations. So you can add any asset group along the top here, and then you can add or remove metrics here depending on what you want to see. And we added new freshness policies to help you understand not what's broken, but what's about to pass its warning. So you could define SLAs in Python either by time window or on a cron schedule that automatically surface in your asset health status. And asset health also propagates in the lineage view, so you can clearly see which groups of assets or specific assets are degraded or close to being degraded. So you can instantly orient yourself around potential problem assets. Configurable alerting means you're notified before problems cascade. So let's go over to the forecasting asset and configure an alert policy. So we want to target a asset selection, and then we want to change whenever there is a warning. And you can configure the warning to kick off whether it's an asset health status change or a specific events listed here. So let's just go to a warning. And then I'm going to put it in Slack in Huli alerts. And then we're just going to call it forecasting assets. And this is what the alerts will look like in Slack. And we also made some improvements to the classic Dagster end-to-end lineage view that we know and love. And since this is such an intuitive way to understand your data platform at a glance, we added some additional customization to your asset facets. You can either take values off your asset to keep it a lot cleaner, or you can add a lot of rich metadata to them so you can get a lot of detail out of your assets without clicking into them individually. And this is also configurable at a user level. So whatever works for that individual person, they can customize their lineage graph to suit their need. And this is what a good feedback loop looks like in data engineering. Intuitive interfaces that keep you in the flow state. And when your observability is good, managing complex data platforms become a natural flow. So Dagster open source lowers your platform's baseline entropy rate. With our best-in-class orchestration, intelligent automation with retries, backfills, and data quality. And Dagster Plus is all about helping you with those day two operations of managing and scaling your data platform. And with this improved UI, you can quickly understand the things that your team is doing well and help you focus on what to do next, keeping you in that flow state and shipping more powerful data platforms. So current Dagster Plus customers can enable the new UI features using this feature flag over here. And if you're new to Dagster or on Dagster open source, I would encourage you to start our free trial and experience the difference that our enhanced observability features give you. So I would encourage you to visit our website and check out the documentation for more information. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.